Hello, my name's Jessica Becker. I'm going to be presenting a workshop on Sunday, February 4th called the Versatility of Asana for certified teachers, and I look forward to seeing you there. I'm excited to be offering this subject because the versatility of asana has kind of become an important theme in my teaching and in my practice, because there are so many ways to teach poses, to teach the same pose, depending on where you're going with the sequence that you're teaching, when you're going with some therapeutic applications of the pose, and that can be anything from musculoskeletal, organic, emotional, depression, anxiety, and also sort of surprising techniques. Like I find that, for example, if you were to teach Trikonasana as a preparation for Urdhva Dhanurasana, it would change the teaching of how I would approach that. And I would be looking at Trikonasana from a completely different perspective than if I was teaching Trikonasana, for example, to go into, I'm trying to give a think of Bakasana, for example, right? It would be very different. So I think that the methodology of Guruji sequencing and Lifetime Yoga and Gitaji's and Gem for Women, and also these preliminary course and intermediate course, offers this kind of wonderful thread of awareness that we build through, linking pose to pose to pose, and then also, what's within each pose that can offer things to other poses. And I find that to be endlessly exciting and rewarding and fascinating. And one can never be bored with teaching a particular asana or practicing a particular asana, because depending on what you're doing, it will always change. So the inspiration was to bring in kind of what I have learned through the kind of nuts and bolts of levels, and I was in the era of not levels, but junior 1, 2, 3, intro, etc. And to, I suppose, show what can come, the evolution of our awareness that can come from this extremely methodical way of teaching, right? Way of learning to teach. And so rather, like Picasso would say, and before you learn to paint a cubist abstract form, you have to learn how to draw a circle and a square, and then turn it into a cube and sphere, and then the world opens up. So that's kind of where what inspired me to offer this as a way of deepening one's understanding of these practices. Be a lot of interaction, because every person who is attending brings their own experience to the table. And what I plan to do anyway is to offer, as I said, I think I've done 4 poses: Uttita Trikonasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, probably with the chair, because that offers so many ranges of understanding, and then Bharadvajasana. And within those, to explore or to suggest to the group, so how would you teach Bharadvajasana, right? If you were teaching, if your next pose was, let's say, sorry, I had one on the tip of my tongue. So let's say if you were going into Janu Shirshasana, like how would you teach Bharadvajasana if you were going into Janu Shirshasana? And then how would you teach Bharadvajasana if you're working with someone with knee issues? And how would you teach Bharadvajasana if you're working with someone with lower back restrictions? And so the questions will be, what has informed your practice? And I will be looking at certain people who have done, who are setting up a pose in a particular way, and ask them. And then from there, we will lead on to see where the rest of the group flows.